Hey there, YouTube friends. Masked Bandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me again today. I always do appreciate it. And welcome back to Emerald Gardens Elephant Exhibit Part 2. We are still working on the elephant exhibit for this episode. We are going to finish it this episode, though, or get to about 95%. And I just can't do anymore. Oh, I'm so happy with it, but it's got, it's still, it's big. It's big. Anyway, yeah, welcome back. And this is now like, I think 3 weeks in a row I've had a video out. Go me. But you'll notice this looks a little different. This is the pond, the main swimming hole for the elephants. And I did put a community poll on my channel asking for your input on what kind of elephants we should have. I did have some feedback from the previous episode suggesting that African elephants might be too big, might not work for the budget of the zoo. You might want to think about Asian elephants. And initially I was like, but no, I like the way the African elephants look. And I do. But, well, you'll see. So anyway, let's chat about what's going on here. Before I turn around and show you exactly what's going on, let's take a look at what we had. This is pretty much where we stopped in the previous episode. The road is gone. Everything needs lots of work. It's really raw. We don't have any elephants. It doesn't blend in with what's left. It's pretty rough. But we're starting the process. We're starting here. I went ahead and I detailed the pool, and I fixed it. In the previous episode, it was super low down here, and it looked dumb. And I had to do some fiddling to get the water back the way I wanted it to, and you'll see we still have a little bit of terrain poking here. But this is much closer to what I originally wanted. So you can see you can get right up, and it feels like you can touch the water, but you can't. And it feels like the elephants can reach you, but they can't. So some things. We have some water here, some little just to keep the water moving. Probably some, major filtration stuff. We got some drains down in there because you need it. But this shelf here is an interesting detail. It is, I'm assuming it is to keep the elephants from getting it too close to you to touch. Because when they're in the water, whether they be swimming or if they could stand up, they can't hike up that step. They can't hike that. They can't hike up that. Now, IRL, this might not be deep enough for something like that, but for me, it works. I like it. So that's what this little shelf is supposed to be. It's supposed to be an area to prevent them from getting too close to the guests and vice versa. And we made it a steps, got a little staircase coming in here. And they do use that. You will see that, hopefully you'll see that they do indeed like to use it. It works, it functions, and it's really cool. Used some rock work here, and yeah, it looks a little samey, intentionally looking samey, so we can look like it's a poured concrete rock work. Want it to look artificial. Yeah, so that's the first big change that we have, and we've got lots and lots to do. We have an entire backstage area to build. We have to finish up the building. You'll notice we're still missing pieces on the building. We have to get it functional as far as staff stuff, because while staff happiness is turned off, we don't want them to have to walk halfway across the zoo. We have to integrate it into what we already have. We've got to do this entire side of the enclosure. So let's just not dilly nor dally, and let's jump right to it. So let's get some work done. One of the things at my local zoo, they have this little elephant, and it's actually the rear end of an elephant with a bunch of fake dung sitting there. And it's an exhibit all about what happens with animal poop, elephant poop, how it makes great fertilizer and all that. So I kind of recreated that idea. Obviously we don't have the pieces for that, but that's okay. This is just a little something. Or we have this nice little fence here. And this incline's a little hefty. I underestimated how heavy it was, how steep it was. But I don't think it's impossible. I still think it's manageable. It's navigable, and I kind of like the undulation here, the building on the hill. I think that helps helps the realism quite a bit. So, but you can see we have to take this fence all the way across, and we haven't even started doing the fence over here yet. So we have also not started doing anything on this side of the enclosure yet. This is a small little update, but thought I'd bring you in and take a quick look. So let's peek through. Let's plug along. Let's move on. So we have ourselves some massive changes. About 8 of them. Right off the bat, we have ourselves some elephants, and you'll notice they are not African elephants. After some consideration, soul searching, and your feedback, I agree. We need Asian elephants. Hi there. Oh, so majestic. So we have Asian elephants, and they fit the space so much better. You were all correct. You were all spot on with that one. So we've gone ahead and done that, and we've broken them up into female and male herds. So we have a herd here of 5 on this side, and there's lots and lots of poop. These animals poop a lot. And I think I have like 3 staff members assigned to each, and it's not enough. So ignore the poop for now. So we have 3 over there, or I'm sorry, 5 over there, and we have 3 over here. And the best part is, while they're not in there now, they do actually walk into the pool. It's not deep enough for them to swim, but that's even better because they submerge more. They just walk into the water. It's really cool. Really happy with it. Really, really pleased with how it turned out. So, well, he's taking a dump. You'll notice there's some stuff happening backstage too. Started going ahead and filling this out using Google Maps to really kind of get the best idea that I can. The problem is they do a really good job of hiding it. Like if you look at Street View from here, you really can't see much because eventually there's going to be a big fence and a bunch of bamboo along this wall because that's to block your view. So you really have to go off of some pretty grainy Google Maps images and just kind of guess and get help from people who know more than you do. But you'll see that I did we extended a path this way all the way around to what will eventually, it does currently, but we'll make it fancier. We're going to put something here, and we're going to have this whole be backstage area here. So the elephants, you're going to have multiple backstage access paths to it. You can also see that we're going to have like 3 service gates, 1, 2, and 3 for vehicles to come on in and get what they need. Added some different toys and added some different things into the habitats. Got the fencing all done. Really spruced this up. Did the terrain work. There we go. Isn't that cool? I love it. It just looks so good. So happy with it. So pleased. This pool is a bit small, but IRL, some days they'd be over here in the big one, some days they'd be over here with the little one, so I don't think it'd be too big of an issue. Just in game, they're not going to be able to actually go. Foliage is starting to come together. I'm really working hard on kind of obscuring the view. I also kind of like how it's coming along here with the red pandas, the Asian, red pandas over here with the elephants over here. I know not the same part of Asia, but it kind of makes a little bit of sense. I don't know, maybe. I think so. But yeah, this is it. This is where we're starting to really kind of put it together. And there's still a ton of work left to do, but I think the bones of the backstage are in, and the front of house is looking pretty good at this point. There's not much else I'm going to do with the actual habitat that the elephants are in. Now it's all getting everything around them looking good. So yeah, let's keep working. Let's push forward some more. So I've brought you back outside of zoo grounds. We are not currently in the zoo. Hopefully the street kind of gives that away. But remember I mentioned that this would all be filled in with a fence and some bamboo? Here it is. And I think we're not done yet. We've got to extend it that way quite a bit. But I think it's pretty convincing. I'm really loving it. The minute I put, oh, by the way, the fence, this chain link, quote, chain link fence is made by Beyond Drew. He's an awesome Planet Zoo YouTuber who I'm sure most of you are well aware of. And if you aren't, you need to check out his channel. He does some great content. Give him a subscribe. But yeah, you can see here we're starting to kind of, we've reached a hard border of the zoo. And we've got some gates here. You can kind of peek in and dig in that, and we'll take a look. What's this big blue thing here? What's going on in the backstage of the building? There's actually stuff here, and this will be even more obscured as we progress, but you can see now that it's starting to come together. It is a big open space. I'm assuming that he'll be able to get some pretty big vehicles in here if they're going to be schlepping elephants in and out. But first thing, so let's start, I guess. Oh, let's start here, and we'll just make our way down through the backstage. So, the Google image has this little area here where you can go up this ladder, and you can go up this sketchy ladder. Now, theirs is way more enclosed. I didn't make mine nearly as claustrophobic, but it leads up here to this little doorway. And I don't know what would be in here, but it was on the image, and it was too cool to not do. So I threw it in there, and I think it adds a lot of just that backstage utilitarian warehouse vibe through some of Mr. Domez's awesome HVAC system stuff there. It's like the back of the building is pretty bland. It's utilitarian. It's what it needs to be. These red don't, these no parking areas, I would assume, just to keep you safe. Got some tea. got some floating tea. Oh, let's fix the floating tea. That's not ideal, so we'll put that over there and do that. There we go. Oh, we're building in real time. Yay. So this biggin, what's going on here? It took me a second to figure out what this was, but I'm going with it's a rain-catching system. You'll notice the building is sloped completely in one direction. All the water rolls down the roof into the gutters, and it all gets funneled into this big water tank. That's about the only thing I can think of about how this would be what it would be. So that's pretty cool. So it looks really frail, but this is, like, I actually got a view of this from Street View. This is pretty much what it looks like. I don't think it's wood, but this is the piece that fits, that is recolorable the best. So yeah, but what I actually did do, I was being extra particular. If you're really paying attention, you'll notice that it is all on a slope, and this is the lowest point. I am pretty proud. I think that's one of those little details that I'm pretty proud of. Like, it actually empties here, and everything is sloping where it needs to go. Whoop. So that's really cool. I know here in Houston that we get a ton of rain, so this makes a ton of sense. And actually, this park, being in the Pacific Northwest, would get a ton of rain as well. So again, makes a ton of sense. Now, what they do with this water, I have no idea. If someone in the comments knows what they would do with this water, I mean, is it as simple as it's water for habitats? I don't know. But yeah, that was really, really neat. We've got some awesome zoo trucks here. And oh, I forget who these are by. They might be from Hot Dog. They might not be. I'll have to double check. And it's sunken in, and I don't know why. So let's raise it up a bit. There we go. There. So we're gonna have a bunch of these put in throughout the backstage areas of our zoo. One thing I did do to the fences here is I added this tarp looking thing, and all this is it's an Indian, what is it? It's an Indian fabric drapery, all recolored the same. You can see if I change the colors of it, that's what it looks like. It's the peacock. There you go. There's the peacock. But when it's all the same color, the peacock pretty much goes away, and when you put the chain link in front of it, it completely goes away to completely block your view, which I think is I was really happy I was able to do that, because that's pretty much spot on what it looks like. So adding little doors for people to get in to the eventual bathhouse. Still don't have it done. We will get it done. have ourselves some more clutter from Domez's. Now, this might not be the most realistic clutter, but nonetheless, I think I always feel like your backstage needs to look a little grungy, look a little dirty, look a little like we don't care. But I'll tell you what, the pictures that I have, the Google Maps are very like, well, at least from what I can tell, relatively clean back here. So I don't know, whatever. One of the issues I'm running into is figuring out how to connect everything. And I think I leave it like this eventually, but I'm not happy with it. I'm going to come back and revisit this probably in a later episode. But you can see, and this building is way too tall. And this part here, I didn't realize was on an incline. So it's these little things that are kind of dictating where the design goes, because I'm not changing the habitat like and all this, and I'm not doing that. So we're going to make this building a little big. Maybe it houses really big things. I don't know. But I don't think it's too terribly noticeable or off-putting, because it needs to be that big to get the elephant through it. So, yeah, I keep coming back to this and being really proud. I changed the masks because it's not African elephants anymore. What should I put here? I don't like those. I need something to put there. Let me know your thoughts. Or maybe we get rid of them entirely. I don't know. But I feel like we need something. Maybe we put water jets here and here just on the side without trying to make them look fancy. I don't know. So, but anyway, you could tell we've still got quite a ways to go. Oh, I've also changed the texture of the road. The dark asphalt's just not doing it for me anymore. I'm feeling this is probably pretty old. It wouldn't be that color. It would be this lighter asphalt color. So let's take another jump in time. So we finally have tackled the inside of this house where they give the elephants baths. I'm going to tell you right off the bat before we look at it, it is probably too small. And the whole gate mechanisms are just kind of there. So it is not 100% perfect. It is not nearly as perfect as what we have going on in the wolf habitat. However, I still think it's pretty convincing. And considering we're never going to have any animals in there, I think it's fine. I'm okay with it the way it currently is, and it's going to stay this way. So the details that need to be in there are in there to sell the idea, and that's kind of what I want. So in we go. Boop. So first things first, this yellow line. I actually was watching an episode of The Secret Life of the Zoo. I think that's what it's called. And in one of them, one of the earlier episodes, they mentioned that this yellow line, or maybe that was in a video I was watching on YouTube. I don't know. Some video I was watching explained that this yellow line is there because it is beyond the elephant's reach. Anything you put on this side of the yellow line, elephants can get at. Anything on this side, they can't. And that was a really interesting thing for me. So I went with it and I included that. And it's probably not right. They could probably reach, but again, it's a detail that I think would be in here. And it might not be perfectly to scale, but I do enjoy it. So what's going on is we have all these different pens and all these different gates. And the idea is you can open and close gates to let animals into whatever pen you want them to go into. And they can also then have bigger pens, or they can, you can open them up so they can go, whoa, they can go in between pens. But again, some of the standards of our previous fencing options, we have it wide enough where they could stick a foot through. It doesn't go all the way to the floor. It doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. They are just like big old pens. And again, none of this would function properly, but included hoses, got some trees poking out, got some elephant grass poking out. We can fix that. But the minute this came in, I was really happy with it. The biggest problem I'm having is the lighting, and in fact, an idea I just had. You're not gonna see it in the rest of the episode, but I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna open that up, and I'm going to put in I'm going to put in the glass walls, the glass windows, whatever they're called. Where are they? Where are you? These guys. We're going to put these guys in, and hopefully they will be the right size. Fingers crossed. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, but we can do it anyway. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Stop yelling. We'll get them. We'll put them in there. I'll fidget. I'll fidget and fiddle with it, and we'll get it to work. It almost does. But, oh my goodness, if that just doesn't look a gajillion times better. It's something that when I built it, I did that'll do, I guess, and I kind of lived with it and then forgot about it, but I like that a lot better. Yeah, oh yeah, look at how much nicer that looks even from inside. Yes, we're doing this. This is happening. There's just a couple little things over here that I want to touch base with you on, show you what's been going on. We made these cute little lamps and poster combo. We were having a big discussion on Bronation about whether or not zoos have lights, and because most zoos that I'm aware of close at dusk, and sometimes they have night lighting events, but they bring in the big light, the generated lights, you know, the big lights on wheels. I don't pay attention, so that's something I'm gonna have to look at next time I go to the zoo. But for now, we have these just because they look cool. And I really like the little poster, the little artwork here. I love that. I think that's really nice. So we've scattered these along the length of the elephant trail. And you notice the fence has made it all the way to here, the wooden fence, the don't go past this peep fence. And that means that the planting has also continued. And now you're starting to see what I mean when I said I wanted it to feel kind of broken up by clusters of plantings. Like, yeah, you can kind of see him, but you're never going to get, like, a super-duper clear view. Maybe over here, as he says. And around here, you can even, I try to break it up a little bit so that, yeah, you can see him. But they have plenty of room to kind of get away from you if they don't want to be near people. This exhibit is big enough that they could just be in the back, and you really won't be very close to them at all. And on this side, we still have yet to tackle the fence. So not a lot to show at this moment, but I thought these were really cool, and I liked them, and I wanted to show them to you, so ta-da. So here we are in the penultimate update for this episode. This is pretty much a lot of the front of house changes or details cleaned up, and then the last bit's probably going to be the back of house details. But you'll see here now, no more green spaces, a lot more paths. We have seating areas now. This became kind of a wide area, so I thought it would be a nice area to put lots of trees, lots of foliage, lots of rocks, lots of, just to make it look a little bit fancier. And now I really dig this old building, this kind of yucky building with the red pandas, and then this just really nice elephant habitat that has been refurbished, we'll say. It's been refurbished. So super pumped with how this is looking. You can see here, I would love to walk through here. And you can I could sit here and just watch some elephants and watch some pandas, and it's going to be really nice. So there's one more big thing, but I want to walk the path so you can see a little cleanup here to do. Still little spots, little places you miss, but for the most part, we got it done. Now, I want to show you what the wolves look like. Oh yeah, one more thing. Big shout out to Because Race Car. I think it was him that recommended we get rid of the fencing here so we could see the wolves better. I do still need to take the fencing around the back then because we don't want anybody walking, because all you got to do is walk through the scrub and you're going to fall in the habitat and sue the zoo. So we don't want to sue the zoo, so we're going to not do that. But you can see now, now that it's all, I think the planters are they all filled in? Yes, the planters are all filled in now. And I think it does a pretty convincing job. I mean, you're not going to hide the elephants entirely. But if you're here to look at the wolves, I don't think the elephants are going to be a distraction. I think the plants, the trees, ended up hiding a lot of that way better than I thought they would, which is pretty cool. I'm happy with how that turned out. Happy with the differences in path texture, as well as the slight variations in height. Like this is all kind of on a hill, and then this is the highest point here. So you're kind of looking down at the elephants, but then the elephants are raised a little bit. Like, I just like the different terrain. The fence has finally been taken across the way here. So now we have protection for the peeps. Oh, almost all the way. Gotta finish. The last big architectural addition is this little area, which I am very happy with. If you want to come watch the elephant swim around, you can come and pop a seat right there. Oh, look at that, he's going in there. What timing. Yes. Oh, that works so well. Oh, thank you, elephants, for obliging. So it's not the biggest seating area ever, but you can totally get an awesome view. You can see he just walks right in there. They dance around for a little bit, and then they go on back. I am so happy with this. Let's go get an up close look. Look at that. That's so cool. So happy with how this is. Hopefully you think it's pretty cool too. I'm a big fan. The last big thing we need to do is we need to... Oh no, I did it. Look. I made some changes. I didn't fix the walls. I need to fix these walls. These walls will get fixed, I promise. We added this in, and this is actually, I went back and looked at the Google Maps of the Houston Zoo, and they have this. There was, especially over here, there was one part where it jutted out. I was like, oh, well, we should have that. And it was a perfect place to put some staff rooms, and I went ahead and I actually replaced the fake doors with real doors. So now we actually have two keeper huts, and then these are lounges. Even though I have it turned off, I mean, if I ever want to turn it on, here's the place where at least the elephant keepers can take a break. And so that's how that's working out. Everything seems to be going fairly well. They have a hard time keeping up with all the poo, but other than that, things are progressing nicely. So alrighty, here we are. This is the final thing. This is it. This is what it looks like, and I'm pretty pleased. First big addition is actually very small. Can you see it? Can you see it? Let's see. Whoa! Oh, now it's not small anymore. Let's see. I couldn't resist. I had to turn on animal aging and breeding. So you get this little stinker. We have a little baby, and I turned aging off immediately when he was born, so we're gonna stick with a baby forever. And it's so cute. Oh my god, it's so stinking cute. Look at it. And yeah, that's the biggest thing that got added. Or the most impressive and most fun to look at. I can watch him. He runs around. He swings his trunk all over the place. I don't even know if it's a he, actually. It might be a she. But yeah, I'm super, it's so cute. And you can see here, where are you guys what the heck are you doing? Hey, where are you going? Get back to work. Ugh. Anyway, we've added more more fencing. Haven't brought the road along with it, but we will. But yeah, you can see now, you can't see in very well at all, which is the idea. That's the idea. You don't want to have people poking in their noses in places where it don't belong. So we got that going, and I think it's very good. We did some work here to make this look like it was on purpose, all this planting. I fixed the... Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. I fixed it on one side, but not the other. Ugh, adorable. That's just great. I fixed most of the wall issues. We need to fix all of the wall issues. I thought I got it all. Darn. But yeah, this is it. This is the final. Oh, there is one more little detail I added over here, and it's not going to be on both sides. We have and I wish I could have made them smaller, But without doing some wacky art-shaped stuff that I just did not want to spend, I'm not going to lie, I didn't want to spend that time on it. We have a list of the elephants in the zoo. We have Daksha, Arya, Janvi, Nayantara, and Arunima. And these are all just the names that came. I didn't change any of the names. And then if you walk along and check out the dude side, we have Anmal, Sai, and Kabir. And really, I think that's a cute little... My zoo has this, and I love it. And they actually have a dog that lives in the habitat, too. And his name is Max. So they have a little picture of the dog for Max. So, this was a journey. This was quite the task. But I'm so glad I did it, and it really got me excited. There was not a point where I was like, oh no, now I have to go do this. I have been excited to work on this the entire time, and 2 weeks more or less I've been working on this. Not every day, but anytime I'm playing the game, I've been playing this part. I've been making the elephants. So super happy. I think it is pretty realistic, and I think it looks like the one at my zoo, which is what we were going for. So hopefully you think it's pretty great, and if you did think it was great, please do hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to stay at least once a week, and so far that's been okay. And for all you Planet Coaster people who probably aren't watching this video anyway, that's probably going to be coming real soon on the channel, and we're going to keep working on Emerald Gardens until I get St. Reginald back from Mike. So yeah, we're going to keep plugging away. There are other things I want to do. It's just, what do I want to do next? So what do we do next? Let me know your thoughts. I may take them on board. I may not. Just tell me what you think, and that'd be great. So with all that being said, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see all of you for the next episode of Emerald Gardens. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.